Welcome to The Explainer. Now, President Trump has made one thing very clear recently. If there's going to be a new deal with Tehran, it is absolutely not going to look like the one Barack Obama signed back in 2015. We are looking at a completely revamped, high-stakes approach to international diplomacy, one that involves naval blockades, secret negotiations, and some incredibly tense standoffs. So, behind all the rhetoric, what exactly is on this anti-Obama blueprint that makes it so radically different? And more importantly, what are the massive hurdles standing in its way?
Okay, let's dive right into this roadmap for untangling this complex geopolitical chess match. We'll start with the anti-Obama blueprint, then we'll peek inside the secret demands, look at a 10-minute volatility, examine the Hormuz double-edged sword, and wrap up with the midterm mutiny.
Section 1. The Anti-Obama Blueprint, a massive shift from the 2015 agreement.
So, while the president has been posting on social media that talks are constructive, he's also told his negotiators not to rush. Why? Because he firmly believes time is on the side of the US. But behind all that America First rhetoric, what actually makes this blueprint so different? Well, this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast. Over on the left, the original 2015 JCPOA heavily focused on limiting and freezing nuclear activity. But on the right, look at these new demands. We're talking the total physical removal of enriched material. It's a massive shift from the previous agreement, which Trump famously ripped up during his first term.
Section 2. Inside the secret demands, setting the bar for a victory. To really understand these secret demands, we have to look at what President Trump and allies like Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are actually calling a victory. It comes down to 3 huge steps. Step 1, the total removal of all enriched nuclear material from Iranian soil. Step 2, it's not just about a freeze anymore. They want the enrichment sites completely dismantled. And step 3, the timeline. They are pushing to extend the number of years Iran's nuclear program would face strict limitations, effectively closing those sunset clauses for decades. Getting the uranium out, dismantling the sites, and extending restrictions. That is the core anti-Obama strategy.
However, as we all know, international diplomacy isn't exactly a one-way street. To get these massive nuclear concessions, the US is likely going to have to give up something the president really doesn't want to do: unfreezing Iranian assets overseas. Now remember, Trump often heavily criticized Obama for sending what he called pallets of cash to Iran. So selling an asset unfreeze to the American public as a major win is going to be a severely tough political challenge for him.
Section 3. A 10-minute volatility, the chaotic reality of secret negotiations.
But why the secrecy? Well, when you have demands this strict and trade-offs this sensitive, the reality gets incredibly messy. Just look at this striking quote from Charles Kupchan at the Council on Foreign Relations. He says, "It's not every hour, it's every 10 minutes. It's literally that volatile. 1 minute we're close to a memorandum of understanding, and the very next, negotiators are walking the other way."
So, what's causing this rapid-fire volatility? Well, the two sides frequently seem to just be talking past each other on a few major sticking points. First, there are reports that the US is actively obstructing certain clauses. Second, as we touched on, Iran is absolutely demanding dignity and the unfreezing of their assets. And third, there's a massive wildcard: the uncertainty over Israel's war in southern Lebanon. The US is caught right in the middle, desperately trying not to let that entirely separate conflict derail this broader nuclear deal.
Section 4. The Hormuz double-edged sword, the high cost of economic leverage.
Right now, Trump is under intense pressure, and it all revolves around one crucial choke point: the US naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. Make no mistake, this blockade is a classic double-edged sword. On one hand, it's his absolute biggest bargaining chip. It forces Iran to the negotiating table. But the highly unfavorable consequence? It's triggering a global oil crisis that is driving up gas prices and severely hurting his popularity at home, right when he needs it most.
And the clock is aggressively ticking, 3 to 4. That's the number of months a leaked intelligence estimate says Iran, and quite frankly the global economy, can withstand this blockade before facing some truly dire consequences.
So the crucial point is this: Trump desperately needs the strait open to lower gas prices. But if he opens it up before a deal is officially signed, Iran starts selling oil again and US economic leverage completely vanishes. He simply cannot relieve gas prices by opening the strait until he has a guaranteed, locked-in yes from Tehran on the strict demands.
Section 5. The midterm mutiny, a ticking political clock at home.
The pressure isn't just global, though. It's coming from right inside his own house. You've got angry voters facing high gas prices. You have Democrats forcing war powers resolution votes. But maybe most shockingly, you have prominent Republicans like Mike Pompeo and Ted Cruz publicly pushing back against the rumored terms of the deal. For the very first time in his second term, the president is facing a genuine mutiny from his own party in Congress, and his support is starting to wane outside the core MAGA base.
And this all boils down to one undeniable reality. The midterms are coming up. Consumers are completely running out of patience with the economic fallout. This political calendar puts Trump in a very difficult, boxed-in position. He desperately needs oil prices to drop before voters head to the polls, but he can't lift that blockade without a deal.
So whether he can actually get Iran to agree to those terms while his own party in Congress is starting to push back is truly the multi-billion-dollar question. What do you think? Is Trump's anti-Obama strategy a masterstroke of high-stakes negotiation, or is he boxed in by the upcoming midterms? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Global Power Pulse for more deep dives into the shadows of global diplomacy. See you in the next one.